What is going on, XCFL, or what is going on,
Oh,
Campus
oh.
Legends Dynasty? We are coming at you live on a Thursday night. It is Campus Legends Season 4 schedule release, now turning into one of the more exciting nights of the year. Get a little idea of who you play, then we kick off right into the season, recruiting, week zero, all that fun stuff gets going. So, um, we got Van and we got Zeth with me, guys. How we doing tonight?
Very well.
Yo,
Excited.
doing great. Excited. I'm ready to
Exciting,
go.
exciting times. With like the start of a Madden season, you kind of have an idea of who you're playing. The divisions rotate. This you have no idea this time around because it's me kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes, trying to make things work. Let's put this little fine print out there. I can't control conference schedules. I can't control conference schedules, home versus away games. So if you have six away games in a row, it's not my fault. I did my best. I think every single person has six home and six away games. Um, Wherever they could work, they work. If they you only get certain weeks open. Conference weeks are locked, so I can't do anything. Some people playing week zero, some people don't. It's just this is how it is. We did our best to make it work. Some users might have hard schedules. Some users might have not easy schedules. Some lower tier teams might have to play good teams. Some higher tier schools might be battling other higher tier schools. So this is what it is. I hope you enjoy it. It might be completely different next year. Like Van said last year, everyone said he had an easy schedule. This year, Van might not have an easy schedule. So who?
I don't know. Whoever said that is got to pull their head out of their arse. It
Yeah.
wasn't easy at all. I'm in the SEC. There's no such thing as easy. VBD had an easy schedule.
All right. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and move on. We're gonna kick right off. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do a little differently this year. We're gonna talk about some of the key games with a couple different graphics that Quacks threw together, and then we'll kind of go through a couple like the actual schedule at the end. So, with that being said, let's get right into our week zero games here. So our week zero kickoff games, we have Notre Dame at Oklahoma. So we got Drew
Ooh,
traveling to Oklahoma to play Smitty. We
that's
have
juicy.
Brackett heading to Texas to play Boone, Auburn versus TCU. And then we get one of our new rivalries in the CLD. We get John Baugh heading to Happy Valley to play VBD. Temple against Penn State. They've played each of this is their third time playing, I believe. So they got a little rivalry going, and then you can see kind of at the bottom of the screen some of our other user games that are going on that week. Northern Illinois and Dr. Dark is going to go ahead and play Air Force week zero. Riot at Army is going to go play Middle Tennessee State and Ebanks. And then we got Chad versus JMO, Rutgers versus UCF. So we got some good fun matchups in some of our user versus user week zero kickoff games. Guys, what one jumps off the screen at you here? Anyone that is a fun one for you?
Dude, I'm saying that big one right there in the middle, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, that's juicy.
Hey, Drew, I don't know if Drew's lost a regular season game the last maybe one. No, I don't. He might have gone 13-0 the last two or 12-0 the last 2 years. So maybe Smitty can get a. I will say Drew has the hardest schedule this year. There's no doubt, and it. I'll tell you what the big problem is. We have a lot of SEC users, and it's hard to find other teams that can fit on SEC schedule. And Notre Dame just fits the best. So Drew, you're going to see a trend of you with some SEC teams, but it is what it is. So let's jump to our next little slide here.
I like that Notre Dame's at Oklahoma. I like that part of it for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. Here we go. Week one, we get a national championship rematch. Oregon is going to head to Tennessee and take on the Volunteers.
God.
And you get some big ones here. If you can kind of see, you get West Virginia heading to Ohio State. You get Miami at Florida, and you get VBD and Drew with another big one here where they're going to take on each other this time around. So this is kind of week one. You get some big heavy hitter matchups here. A lot of the big dog teams, a lot of the top 20, top 15 teams right out of the gate. Van, you're obviously up on this graphic. What do you think?
Oh man.
You get an in-state rival. You do get them at home at the Swamp.
We got to make sure we stagger these games. I don't want to miss any of these.
Yeah, these are some big ones. Tosh gets NWS. He travels over to Ohio, the home ground, the stomping grounds. Um,
Well, and
Dude, yeah, this is
you at Tennessee is going to. I'm. You know what? I'm not missing that one.
Yeah, that's like a must
Yeah.
watch. Like that's a crazy game. Really interesting to have week 1, and then of course busy and man, this
Yep.
I'm so excited seeing it. I'm not even on the schedule. I haven't even seen a game of mine
Oh,
yet.
you're up on the
But this
next
shit
graphic.
looks so exciting. Oh my
And
Oh,
then
god.
man.
you got some at the
Yeah.
bottom of the screen here. You get Air Force is headed to Ole Miss, kind of the warm up game for Ole Miss. You got Boise State at Auburn, so bracket versus Nairi. You get Quacks against Sparty there at his new Colorado State versus Buffalo. Memphis versus Southern Miss. Rob versus Ilio there in a week 1 matchup, and then you got Temple and John Baugh versus KOTB and at San Diego State. So we got some fun ones coming here.
Oh man, I'm a little overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, it's some good ones. Let me get to our next other interesting matchups throughout. These are some of the other big ones. Week 2, Florida's going to play Virginia Tech, so Van is going to head and play Heath and Blacksburg. You get Brackett versus VBD in week 3. You get Notre Dame and Drew against Texas in week 3 as well. JMO against IRA or Side Effect in the Southern Florida versus Central Florida. It's some highway showdown. I forget what it's called. It's a real rivalry. You can see Drew's up here a couple times. He's got Tennessee. He's got West Virginia. He's got a really tough schedule. His computer games are pretty easy, but it's a very different schedule for Notre Dame this year. Week 7, South Carolina versus Ohio State. So you got Ilio against NWS. And then Tosh gets to start the season with NWS, and then he finishes the season with IRAC. So he finishes it with his 2 Ohio buddies there.
Nice.
A nice little showdown. Let's see what else we got in some of these. This will be a little trend here. A little Campus Legends Dynasty homecoming for Season 4. We've had some users shift around a little bit, head to new schools, take on new coaching jobs. So with that, Zeth, week 0 and week 1, Zeth is going to play Kansas, and then he's going to play Oklahoma State back-to-back. He plays both his old schools.
Wow.
Heath is going to travel week 0 and play North Carolina, his old school. Sparty is going to be at Michigan State week 0 and play his old team. Brackett is going to play Florida State in week 4, so he'll get to go back and play some of his recruits. Boone gets to head and play JMU and some of his old recruits. Ebanks, same thing, going to get to play a little UCLA, Middle Tennessee State. And then Quacks will get to travel in week 0 back to Cal and take on the old Golden Bears. So, it's going to be fun, It's going to be fun. You can play, It was funny because Zeth mentioned, I would love to get recruits and get to use them and this and this. Well, now you get to go play all those guys you just recruited the last 2 to 3 years.
This is amazing.
So
That's hilarious. You don't listen to one thing. I say that. Yes, I did say. But I did say I'm tired of playing Big 12 teams.
Yeah, you get to play a couple of them, though. So it's going to be fun.
But this is great.
Oh, man, this is fucking brilliant. What a great idea.
We got some fun ones, though. Quacks, thanks for throwing these graphics together. I threw these to them late last night, and it came out really well. So let's kind of jump into the schedule a little bit more here, though. Some other games that we didn't really mention. Let me pull up. I didn't tell Andrew CPU. You know what? Let's pull up the old spreadsheet. Let's pull up the old spreadsheet that makes it all happen.
Dude, I'm with you, Van. I am just overwhelmed at the moment. Like, holy cow, man! I don't even know what to say. So excited.
I'm breathing in a paper bag right now, and I have my heart monitor on.
I feel it, brother. Holy cow!
Tell me if you guys can see the words of this on the screen if I have it that size.
No, it's transitioning still, but
a little blurry.
Readable.
You want to go? You want to up that by 25%.
Well, you can zoom in a little bit,
and then you're just gonna have to scroll, I think.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. I think it's as good as it's gonna get. But all right, so you can kind of see Pride up at the top. He's gonna go versus NIU at Ole Miss. He also has a game against Southern Florida up there in week 3. You can kind of get an idea where your bye weeks are. Riot has Middle Tennessee State. Let me clarify. Anything that is red is a conference game. Anything that has the bright yellow is a CPU game that I threw on the schedule. We do have the little Euro showdown. Riot and Air V are going to play each other in week 7 out here. Army versus Texas. Bracket's got a fun. Yeah, Brackett's got a fun schedule at TCU, Boise, at Penn State versus Florida State. So he gets his, the 4 teams there. Nyrie's going to go at Auburn, at Texas State, versus Middle Tennessee State, versus Ole Miss. Sparty gets to play, as we talked about, he's got a couple user games. I tried to get some of the lesser teams, the lesser teams against each other so we could see some of those fun showdowns. Quacks and Zeth are going to play in week 3. Missouri here against Colorado State. Van, your schedule, you have a North Texas thrown in on there because all the users were kind of full at that point. So you get your 2 users sandwiched in, and North Texas sandwiched in between your 2 bye weeks. And then obviously the SEC schedule that follows. Kells is got who? Kells. Okay, Kells. I apologize. The way this worked out, dude. You ended up getting Oklahoma and Miami as Memphis, but you get paid for it. You're going to get your campus currency, and if you pull off an upset, that's a huge win. So, go get a win in one of these, brother. But you do get a game against Central Michigan. Yeah.
You said Bedlam.
Yeah, we kind of talked Busy. Busy's going to get to play. Him and Dr. Dark requested a game against Busy in Miami, so he is going to head. Busy is actually going to travel to Northern Illinois and play Dr. Dark. Rob gets a couple. He's got 3 user games: Southern Miss, South Carolina, SDSU. Zach, you go at Kansas, at Oklahoma State, at CSU. I forget who your other computer game is, but you also have a ton of user games in conference. So you will get your fair share of users, even though you have your 2
I'm
old
down
schools
for that.
there. Yep, Ebanks gets some users, and then Akron, and then obviously the old team. Drew's schedule is the tough one. He's got, like I said, Oklahoma, Penn State, NIU, Texas, Tennessee, West Virginia. I made sure, Drew, to give you some easy CPUs, though. After that, you're not getting your Michigans, the other ones that Notre Dame normally plays. So it's a different schedule for Notre Dame this year. NWS gets interesting. He gets to play Houston, which is supposed to be yellow, but he gets to, he lives down there in Houston, so he gets to play at Houston, which will be fun for him. And then he obviously gets to play Tosh and Ilio. Big Smitty, I threw Tulsa on there because I know he's Oklahoma dude. He gets to play Tulsa. He also has at Oklahoma State, so we get the Oklahoma State rivalry back. Tide Pod. Go ahead.
What does VPDs look like after Auburn?
Temple, Notre Dame, at Auburn, and then it's all conference games from there on out. He's got a tough one. I think me and VVD play each other this year. I think me and NWS play each other this year. So the Big Ten, how it all worked out is going to be very interesting. But it's going to be a tough one. Ilio wanted to play Jacksonville State because him and South Carolina are both the Gamecocks. So it's probably going to be the Cock Bowl or something like that. Aries gets a couple of 3 users plus Eastern Michigan. Boone's got a tough one here. He's got Auburn, JMU, which is supposed to be yellow, and then he heads and plays versus Tennessee. So he'll host Tennessee. So Brap's 2 out of conference user games are Oregon, TCU, and then Notre Dame. He's got Arizona State mixed in there as well. John Baugh's got his 3 in a row right here with Penn State, San Diego State, and then Rutgers. So that'll be a fun one there. He's got 3. We'll see what Temple's made of out of that. You get 2 Big Ten teams and a rising SDSU. So
I believe in John.
What did King of the Beast say? Oh, I took his ass busted. Oh boy. JMU, or no, not JMU. JMO's going to play Rutgers, Ole Miss, USF. You get IREC, like I said, he's going to be at Air Force versus Central Florida. He's got a Stanford game, and he also gets Tosh out there. Van, you do have Florida State at the end of your schedule out there. Hiding. That's just what you do, your rivalry game. And then we still got the Army-Navy game. Obviously, Riot gets to play in that still. Tosh is at Ohio State versus Notre Dame, and then versus Central or Southern Florida. And then Heath down here. Heath has got at Western Kentucky, bye week versus Florida, at Oregon, and then not at Western Kentucky. That should say, oh no, North Carolina is one of the conference games. That's right. Yeah. And then he's got a Liberty game in there somewhere. What are we thinking? Any big matchups we're excited for outside the ones we talked about? Your schedule? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What are we thinking?
Let me get in on this. Okay, so I want some clarification because there was one that I got a major Woody for when I heard. Okay,
yeah,
it was Busy and going to Northern Illinois, right? you said? I think it said other way around on this.
Yes.
You tell me. But that sounds like Dr. Dark against Busy is something that I was like, hey, yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, he asked for it. He wanted it. He messaged me before he said if there's any chance I can play Miami, throw him on there. So I got him on there. Hey, if a small school wants to play a big school, I'm throwing him on there. I don't care if the big school agrees or not. That's, if it's, it is what it is. You get a chance
It is
to
what
go
it
make a
is.
noise. Yep. Real quick before we forget, while we got everyone on here and my child's not screaming her face off, let's the real reason some people are here is the generational talent coin toss. And we're going to find out who's going to get their generational talent on the roster for today. Will it be Busy and will he get to play Van week one after the bye week? Will it be Drew and he gets to open up with Smitty? We'll get him on the roster as soon as we advance. We'll try our best to get that created. But we're going to do our coin toss here. So
yeah, it's going to be fun dealing with Dion there, Van.
You know what? He ain't taking Tim Tebow, I'll guarantee you.
this is what we got here. We got our fancy little heads or tails coin here. It's very simple. One coin toss is going to settle all of this. I think if there would have been different users or someone we really like, a big school against a small school, we would have found out a different way to do this. But because it's two of the best rosters out there and we really don't care, we're doing a straight up coin toss. So, I messaged him before. Busy called tails. So it's going to be tails is busy, tails is busy, heads is Drew. Whoever it lands on wins the generational talent. So here we go. Are we ready?
Oh my goodness.
Set.
The first ever.
First ever. Might be the only one. Who knows? You never know. All right, here we go. And we're off. Tails is busy.
Good luck. Good luck.
Heads. The generational talent is heading to Notre Dame. Congrats, Drew. You fought through all the contests, the lucky rounds of guessing numbers and duck hunts and duck races and all that. And now you won a coin toss at the end to finish it off. So shout out to you doing all the contests, following through, making sure you got your scores in. You did follow all the rules. Feel free to DM me who you're picking. Who do you guys think he's picking at Notre Dame?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. What's his
I think he doesn't have a stud quarterback. So you could throw a Tim Tebow build on there. That would be interesting.
Safety. I forget who did you have?
Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott's a beast, dude.
I'm thinking he's gonna roll Ronnie Lott. And congratulations, buddy. You earned it.
Oh yeah, it is what it is, man. It could have been a smaller school. It could have been a lot of different things. So
Brady Quinn.
He's not going Bo Jackson. I don't think he goes Bo Jackson. Dion is fun just because you get a little bit of both sides of the ball there. Somebody you can play on both sides.
Yeah, Dion definitely seems like a Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, dude, that you get to play on both sides of the ball. You get almost a 2-for-1. He's not a true wide receiver, obviously, but he is lockdown corner, and then you get some route running and some catching. So.
We need a George Wood build, Eli says.
George Wood build, dude. That would be it's pretty much Tim Tebow if you think about it.
Yeah, but add 160 pounds.
Do we think who's the other one? The one we didn't Warren Sapp, I guess. The Warren Sapp build. It's an athletic speed rusher, run stopper. I mean, you can't go wrong there. Drew's a pretty good D-line user, so.
Yeah, I feel like he's certainly going defense.
I think I would too. I think it's easier to, to recruit offensive players,
And it's just so fun having just that game record defensive player. It's just like, holy cow.
Especially on the defensive line.
What about so that's what we got for today. I think we kind of did this real quick. I'm going to advance, I think, here in a minute. We'll end the show just so everyone can kind of get in, see their schedules. It's easier than me just sitting here talking about looking at a spreadsheet. So we kind of highlighted our games we wanted to highlight. Let's just remember this season, everybody, respect each other, follow the rules, be nice. It's all a game. Like I said, this isn't Madden. It's not an even playing field. Everyone has a different starting point. Recruiting's crazy. Do what you got to do. But when it comes to rules, let's make sure we're following them. I know the dropbacks have been interesting here and there. I know we see, there's in zone coverage, you're supposed to be holding strafe. You can hold sprint and strafe, and it's a sidestep, and the guy still is looking back at the quarterback. But if you're sprinting in zone coverage and it's not a deep blue, you're going to get penalized for it. We're going to crack down on that, unless it's against the computer. The other thing I want to be clear about, the only rule you do not have to follow against the computer is our user pick rule. And coverage can be anywhere. Everything else is the exact same. There's no zigzagging on offense. There's no it is all the same. The fourth down rules, you have to follow them to a T against the computer. It is not a free for all. Just user picks and user coverage on defense against computers. So let's buckle in, follow the rules. It's going to be key, especially this is season 4. Everyone's getting used to the game. Everyone's got their playbooks, their plays, all that kind of stuff. If you didn't send me a playbook by the time we advance, you're locked into your playbook from last season. So remember that for offense and defense. Anything you guys can think of to add here?
No, I mean, we're killing it. Keep the pace up, Let's keep rocking and let's get to the next one. Let's keep rolling.
And then last thing I will add, man, I'll let you add anything you want after. But last thing I'm going to add, we have the campus currency added up. I'll get those added in chat so everyone can see how many they have. So if you wanted to add, a 5-star recruit, a 4-star recruit, if anyone has enough for a 2-way player, or whatever you want to do. I know Heath is using his to bring a player from North Carolina to his Virginia Tech team. So we're going to go on and edit that. So he brought a corner with him, which is kind of cool.
He's going to need it.
The good news is his Virginia Tech team is all the players he recruited. Just now,
right?
2 years older.
2 years
so,
later, yeah.
You have to skip the whole redshirt part and just
That's
go.
So funny. That's so cool.
Else. Yeah.
I had to redshirt 299, Heath.
Again, shout out to Quacks, because the little graphic stuff was pretty cool.
Hella cool! Shout out.
Yeah,
the whole community's been awesome, man.
If you weren't on the show, I'll just bring up the graphics real quick because those are pretty cool. Real quick, here's our little week 0. I got it trimmed. That's okay. Week 0, you got that. Oh, dang, it's all fucked up. Come on now. Reset. There we go. Now we're cooking. Got the week 0 games. Transition on to our week 1 of the national championship rematch. A couple of the big matchups underneath there. You get the other interesting matchups on there. A lot of Notre Dame, a couple West Virginias, a couple Southern Floridas. We got our little homecoming slides, which is a cool little graphic here where everyone is going to go back and play their old school for the most part. If it worked, it made sense on the schedule. Zaf has both the schools on there. And then obviously, with that being said, fellas, season 4
is here. Nick, I got to say that was a little nugget, man. That was perfect. Nice job.
Shout out to Quacks. The graphic brings it all together. It's what we wanted to do the last couple times. So, sweet. Thank you everybody for hopping on here. Thank you too. I know it was kind of like, hey, I'm gonna start the show at a random time and we're just gonna go. But when you got a screaming baby upstairs, and your wife is gone for the night, it's what we got to do.
That's what we got to do, baby.
Yep.
I can't stand it.
What you got, man? Go ahead. We got time.
No, I was gonna say I can't stand it. Let's advance.
That's gonna be the plan. So, real quick, Heath, I'm gonna message you, get your guy in your roster. I'm gonna ask you, or message me, what freshman corner you want me to, or DB you want me to edit into that guy, because I don't want to take one you're actually planning on using or something. So message me a guy that's expendable that I can edit. And then Drew, when you're ready, send me over your generational talent build, and I will try to get them on your roster before you and Smitty play today. So, all right, fellas, thank you for tuning in. We are out of here. Peace.